a shadow carved by blood, by loss, by death. Crossbow in hand, I trace the broken land. No gods to guide, no masters to command. This world is ash and time's a rusted chain, but pain's the only thing that feels like flame. My childhood lived inside a cage of fists, each bruise a lesson scrawled upon the wrists. Now freedom wears a mask of rotting bone, and silence hums like truth I've always known. No crown upon this head, no scripted fate, just instinct, dirt, and rage I cultivate. I walk alone but not without a cause, a creature shaped by trauma, grit, and loss. Through fields of death I carve a crooked line, and guard the souls that fate forgot to sign. You'll never see me beg or kneel or plead. I live for them, and that's the only creed. I've buried brothers under weeping skies. I've watched the strong fall screaming into lies. This world don't care what name you wore before. It strips you clean and shows you what you're for. I've made my peace with blood, with fire, with fear, but mercy's voice is one I rarely hear. Hope is a drug that poisons from within, a fragile light too easy to rescind. Still I protect what little warmth remains, though every step cuts deeper through the chains. I'm not a hero, never wore that skin, but I still fight through rot, through death, through Don't carve my name in stone or raise a flame. Just know I stayed when others fled the game. I spoke in steel and silence in the dust, and placed my faith in pain instead of trust. No throne, no war, cry, no divine decree, just hunted breath and blood and memory. I walk alone but not without a cause, a creature shaped by trauma, grit, and loss. Through fields of death I carve a crooked line, and guard the souls that fate forgot to sign. You'll never see me beg or kneel or plead. I live for them, and that's the only creed. Crashing skies, a violent birth, strangers spilled upon the earth. A jungle breathes, it knows our names, whispers truth through smoke and flames. The island speaks in hidden codes. Time collapses, space corrodes. Each broken soul a thread unwinds, woven deep through fractured minds. relentless, fevered blur. Some run for truth, some hide in lies. Some build their peace and others die. The island takes, the island gives. In death we learn what truly lives. We're more than wreckage on the shore. We are the storm, the myth, the war. The answers burn just out of reach. In silence only gods can breach. We lose ourselves to find the path. Embrace the fire, accept the wrath. And in the dark we learn to see the island's not a place but me. That lingers past the storm's breath. The name time could not drown beneath the black sea. Son of the cunning tide, breaker of oath, I carve my fate in winds the gods once cursed. Each shore I tread bears witness to my sin, yet none can see the weight I leave behind. Troy burned and in its smoke I lost my soul's peace. A thousand cries still haunt the salt within me. Glory is the crown of rusted desire. Its gleam a life into the hearts of kings. I watch my men dissolve in Circe's sleep. age where sun and shadow barter, where time forgets the shape of mortal names. I drank from hands that wore my lover's face, then woke in beds not meant for Ithacan kings. Each island was a mirror of my ruin, each dream another reef beneath my hull. Now home returns not with a trumpet's herald, but quiet like the breath before a death. Penelope weaves silence in the dark, while strangers feast upon my father's halls. The gods still mark the scars upon my hands, yet I endure, for I have seen their fall. I touched the stars and cursed their blinding gleam, and learned the price of chasing mortal dream. Call me not hero, for I bear no crown, but ash and salt where memory pulls me down. The sea was not a path, but what I am, a soul unmoored, condemned to never land. The wind still speaks in tongues I cannot flee, and all I am is all that left of me. And all I am is all that left of me. The victors carve their names into the stone. The silence of the dead is never weighed. No monument was built for those who burned, their language lost in ash beneath the flags. What's left is not the truth, but what was spared. Curated myths parade as sacred facts. History is not written, it is staged. Each scroll survives by permission implied. The chronicles omit the screams and smoke, a gospel forged by kings and hungry priests. The lie is clean rehearsed and taught as law. The truth decays in graves with shallow names. Who writes the past when all the dead are gone? Whose words survive when silence drags too long? The script is clean, but where's the broken flag? Truth erased, replaced by something fresh. Each page a wound disguised as history. Each verse a grave no one was meant to see. Archives are stitched from bleeding contradictions. One war, 10 versions, none of them complete. Libraries burn while sermons fill the air. The ink is dry but soaked with filtered blood. Scribe was spared the pressure of the throne. No witness lives who speaks of dying men. No one records the ones who could not kneel. They vanished screaming, nameless and unheard. They prayed while soldiers lit the final pyres and called it peace as they concealed the fires. Who writes the past when all the dead are gone? Whose words survive when silence drags too long? The script is clean, but where's the broken flag? Truth erased, replaced by something fresh. Each page a wound disguised as history. Each verse a grave no one was meant to see. Who writes the past when all the dead are gone? Two shadows meet beneath the burning sun, where silence rings like battle's just begun. The sand remembers every drop of pain, a sacred ground for those who still remain. Their sabers hum like warnings in the air. Two broken truths too far gone to repair. One wore the robe, but not the peace inside. The other bore the dark he could not hide. No masters left, no counsel to obey. Just memories the force could not allay. No longer light, no longer clean or pure. Just warriors with wounds they stand endure. On sands of war where legends fade and burn, no side remains, no honor to return. The force is pain and peace a distant lie. We draw blades and never question why. A final clash beneath the crimson sun. Two Jedi fall and only war has won. Tattooing watch with eyes of endless dust. The ancient sun eroding hope to rust. The wind cut through their thoughts like sharpened glass. Each strike a question neither dared to ask. Was this the way the order chose to die? In exile, rage beneath the desert sky. They fought for past that neither could defend. Old codes, old scars, a war that would not end. The force was not a flame, but now a wound that sang of balance lost, of fate marooned. And as they clashed in arcs of light and flame, they both knew neither one would leave the same. The younger burned with fire wild and raw. The elder moved like silence bound by law. But pain had made them equals in the dust. No prophecy, no victory. stars fell quiet overhead, two weapons drawn by what their master said. But deeper still beneath the fear and fire, they sought a truth beyond the Jedi choir. In every cut, a fragment torn from fate, in every breath the weight of love and hate. On sands of war where legends fade and burn, no sign remains, no honor to return. The force is pain and peace a distant lie. We draw blades and never question why. A final clash beneath the crimson sun, two Jedi fall and only war has won. Two Jedi fall and only war has won. He marched through smoke with fire burning in his chest. No flag, no prayer, no orders, just unrest. The city cried beneath the iron sky, while children learned too young how men can die. He watched a mother clutch a blood-soaked doll and wondered what was left of right at all. A house reduced to ash, a name lost in the rain, his brother's face now drawn in lines of pain. No medals shine where silence fills the graves, just broken songs for those we could not save. The uniforms all blur when the dying starts, and war carves guilt on every beating heart. Who will mourn the ones we leave behind? The nameless graves, the fractured mind. Heroes or victims, it's all the same. When ashes are all that remain, they build their empires on below and never ask what happened to John Doe. He used to dream of fields of wind of home. Now every breeze recalls a dying moan. The blast that tore, the sky still haunts his sleep. He counts his sins instead of counting sheep. And in his chest, a hollow never heals. The ghosts of those who died are all he feels. They called him brave, they etched his name in stone, but no one asked what screams when he's alone. A father gone, a child who won't return. Each side forgets the cost in what they burn. The war does not decide who's wrong or right, it only teaches how to kill the light. He walks the streets with no one left to know. Another name beneath the falling snow, a whisper lost beneath the roar of steel. The part of war they never let you feel. Not every death is marked in black and gold. Some stories rot before they're ever told. He cries without a tear, speaks without a sound. Another John Doe buried underground. The war goes on, but he does not exist. Just fading breath lost in a crimson mist. speaks in sequences of time. Syntax dissolves into fragmented light. The mirror holds a face she does not know. Each day unravels deeper into shade. She watches from a place beneath her skin. The world becomes a sound she cannot name. Security patterns stain her sleep. Cassandra builds a temple out of fear. Inside the walls are made of whispered threads. She speaks in riddles broken through the glass. A prophet screaming what must come to pass. Her eyes reflect the chaos none can see. A fractured soul therapy reports of fractured baselines. Chiseled tap pulse signs align and persist. Her journal pages loop the same dead words. They're watching me. The silence knows too much. We trace the spiral cortical decay. The overted frontal lights flicker dim. Loss of insight sets the final divide. A logic built from agony and dash. She reasons with the madness like a friend. Delusions curl like smoke around her thoughts. The test results confirm what we all feared. Cassandra's self is fading into static. She does not cry, emotions been displaced. The limbic system shuts its iron gates. She drifts between the fragments of her mind. Identity dissolves into design. Now every echo calls her by a name that no one ever gave, and yet she silence of the drain, I hear a distant song, echoes of a name I buried deep for far too long. Rust and blood still stain the sewers of my dreams. Childhood ghosts come whispering through shattered seams. The past returns not as a tale, but as a scream, a face behind balloons that split the daylight's beam. Laughter hides in shadows where the paper boat once sailed. Eyes like moons beneath the storm, cold and unassailed. We carved our names in myths, not knowing they would stay. Scars etched into the soul that time can't wash away. The world above forgot, but something down there waits, feeding on the truth we locked behind our gates. It waits in the silence where memories lie, a truth we abandoned beneath Derry sky. But we are the fire, we are the fight, children of shadow, reclaiming the light. And though the cloud may dance through screams and tears, we stand as one beyond the years. Losers we were called, but kings we stood that year. Hand in hand, defying death despite the fear. But innocence is brittle, and courage always cost. The circle broke, we fled, and something vital lost. Each heartbeat drags me closer to the dark I knew, where every step is haunted by what we must undo. You wear 1,000 faces, but I know your voice. The liar in the drain who twisted child's choice. You promised joy and took it with a jagged grin. Painted dreams in red, then tore them from within. Now every street in Derry bleeds a memory, and I return not just for them, but to free. To face the beast, you must recall the child you were. The trembling hands, the pact made under cedars blur. We lit the fire in the dark, our blood the flame, and swore that if it came again, we'd do the same. No power in the world can bind what hearts have sown. Together we are brave, but never quite alone. Down in the dark where time forgets to flow, where screams are roots and fear is all you grow. I see myself, the boy I left behind, still reaching out, still trapped inside my mind. It waits in the silence where memories lie, a truth we abandoned beneath Derry sky. But we are the fire, we are the fight, children of shadow, reclaiming the light. And though the cloud may dance through screams fields of mist and mud, the banners raised like dying gods in flame. Our Lord had spoken, war would cleanse the land, and steel would write the future in their blood. I watched the crows take flight before our boots, as if they knew how many would not leave. They died in waves, not heroes, only names, torn open on the pikes like butchered lambs. The sky was black with smoke and copper rain, while priests screamed blessings. None of us believed. Blood drank from streams that stank of ash and skin, and dreamt of home between the clash of steel.
I fought for kings who carved the world in lies, for banners stitched from children's final cries. The blade I bore now rusts beneath my bed, a relic soaked in all the tears I bled. They called it glory, we were never told that all men burn, not only those made bold. What's left of me is smoke and cracked belief, a soldier's oath now buried under grief.
The siege consumed the marrow from our bones. We slept with rats curled warm beneath our cloaks. 100 days we fired at crumbling walls and starved while nobles died behind the lines. A war for God, for coin, for land, for pride. Yet none could name the sin they made me kill for. I lived through gates with death upon my breath, the last among the thousand we had sent. No songs were sung for those who bled unseen, no honor for the ones who crawled away. The crows that follow me like waiting dead, their wings a shroud I wore before I knew. My village lay in soot and broken stone. The fields were bare, the well had turned to dust. The castle where I swore my life was ash, its banner trampled under plague and flame. I found my wife, pale-eyed, too weak to speak. My son unblinking, thin as winter reeds. The healer came with salt and cloth and fire, but death had learned to dress in priestly choir. The crops had rotted under blood-red skies, while lords played war when peasants paid the price. The dream of chivalry was just a stain, washed out by rain that smelled of iron and pain.
I fought for kings who carved the world in lies, for banners stitched from children's final cries. The blade I bore now rusts beneath my bed, a relic soaked in all the tears I bled. They called it glory, we were never told that all men burn, not only those made bold. What's left of me is smoke and cracked belief, a soldier's oath now buried under grief. What's left of me is smoke and cracked belief, a soldier's oath now buried under grief.
touch, afraid of scars, connections flicker, brief and hollow, a dance of echoes we blindly follow. Lonely in crowds we beg for grace, but hide our truth behind a digital face. Love is a product we buy then waste, tasted once, discarded in haste. Fear of death, of sinking in, we crave the flesh, but not the skin. Each bond a mirror cracked and blurred, a silent scream we leave unheard. We are the lost, afraid to care, yearning touch and poison air, built to bond but bred to run. We chase the night then fear the sun. In shattered trust we seek the light, but love won't live without the fight. Freedom we worship yet flee its way. Too much choice we hesitate. Ghosts of meaning lost in motion. Intimacy drowned in endless ocean. The self fragmented, worn within. We no longer know where we begin. We slide past souls like passing trains, seeking warmth but fearing change. Attachment feels like slow decay, so we retreat, drift far away. No roots, no soil, just shifting ground. In liquid love, we slowly drown. A thousand friends and none who stay, all watching life through glass and gray. We speak in memes, in hollow tones, surrounded yet we die alone. Desire burns but never fades, just loops of want and unmet needs.
Can we learn to bleed and bind, to see the soul, not just the sign? Beneath the noise, the static veil, is there a pulse we've yet to feel? Or are we cursed to ever roam with empty hands and hearts of stone?
We are the lost, afraid to care, yearning touch and poison air, built to bond but bred to run. We chase the night then fear the sun. In shattered trust we seek the light, but love won't live without the fight. betrayed, each smile a hollow joke. Crowds move like fades, but none could feel the blade. Just phantom heads that fed on want and greed. The sky was choked, the ground a patchwork lie, and every dream just fought to learn. hunger still, and cold that cuts like blades. But every wound I take I would not trade. For freedom lives where comfort dares not tread. Among the wolves, the ash, the walking dead. You call it madness, leaving all behind, but I was never yours to trap or bind. Your progress builds but never truly close, just taller graves and ever faster flow. Out here I burn the silence that I keep. It sleeps away, your towers never sleep. I left the hive, the cage, the shining screens, and killed the man you made in all your dreams. Among the pines I shed my final scan. No more machines to tell me where I've been. I found a world that doesn't beg or bend, where I began and where your world must end. Where I began and where your world must end.
Sailed beyond the satellites of man, where systems breathe in orbits calm and wide. The engine hummed like voices deep in prayer, while windows framed a canvas rich with stars. The journey charted lines through known terrain, a tranquil drift beneath familiar skies. Then time began to stagger in its steps. The constellations whipped and realigned. My instruments described impossible arcs, insane equations carved in stellar ash. The stars grew teeth and whispered fractured songs. Their language etched itself behind my eyes. Je tombe dans les bras des cieux bercés. Les astres chantent des prières oubliées. Le vide m'appelle d'une voix sans visage. Je dérive où l'angoisse devient langage. Chaque étoile lance impossible, et mon esprit se fond sous l'indicible. No compass held against the shifting dark, each second stretched into a spiral cry. Planets revolved around uncentered laws and screamed in orbit shadow bent toward me, its surface stitched with doors that led to none. I saw myself reflected in the void, 1,000 eyes behind a skin of glass. My voice returned as echoing commands, but issued from a mouth I couldn't find. My body stretched like light across a dream and bled through seams in warped dimensions. Je tombe dans les bras des cieux inversés. Les astres chantent des prières oubliées. Le vide m'appelle d'une voix sans visage. Je dérive où l'angoisse devient langage. Chaque étoile hurle en langue impossible, et mon esprit se fond sous l'indicible. A hiss, then silence colder than the void. The stars collapsed into a blinding light. The vast expanse withdrew behind my breath. I gasped and air returned in choking bursts. The ceiling weighed, the beeping sharp and slow. I woke beneath the weight of sterile sheets.